Finally, FPUC is coming back. But I can't really say that about her hairstyle. It's like, Good afternoon, everybody. This is LALATE Afternoons. Hope you're good and safe. Our 2-hour programming block that starts every day at 3:30 with the check, then at 4 with hazard pay, then this video at 4:30, and finally rent coming up next. Big, exciting news on a day in which we're delivering 3.5 hours of programming on LALATE, now the net's most watched and fastest growing news channel. Thank you for tuning in. Boy, this video is going to go over the confusion about routing times for FPUC LWA as terror and confusion erupts in households across the country. As they hear something, they're told something, they're said something's processing, then it's not processing. It's a lot of really bad confusion. So I'm going to settle it down, get your cup of coffee, put your feet up, and do much of nothing, which is what Chuck Schumer does on a regular basis. And let's get right to the details. First, FPUC 1.0 is still paying for the weeks that you certify from March to July, late July. So those weeks are still paying out, and if you certify for them, you'll get paid. How fast will you get paid? You know, this was really one of the very first questions I got when this channel launched. How fast would I get paid unemployment benefits, whether it's PUA or UI or FPUC? The answer is very simple. It just depends on your state. Every state is very different. For example, in California, viewers reported that after they got their application in for UI and PUA and FPUC, the very first day it went live, about April 28th, the initial viewers got their debit card, because that's the way California works, in about 1 week, and then funds about 24 to 48 hours thereafter. And that every week that they certified after that first payment, they got the funds within 24 hours after they certified any week thereafter. Now, viewers who waited to get their PUA application until early May, they were backed up forever. They sometimes did not even receive their debit card until June, like a month later. And then that first payment was even delayed even longer. So as you see, as things go bottle up and bog up, things get very slow very quickly in these state coffers. But generally when you're set up, and you're set up for the first payment, and you've received a first payment, and you're approved, and you're in the database, and everything is fine, then when you certify for benefits, you generally receive those FPUC 1.0 UI PUA benefits within about 24 hours if you're set up for electronic deposit. That's incredible, great news. Next, LWA, where we currently are now, and viewers have just said all different types of stories. How fast, how soon, how much? Okay, so let's go over the details. When LWA first launched, and certainly I was around then, LWA first got its initial applicants in, who were Arizona, Missouri. They got their applications in as states right away. And guess what I said then? I said, FEMA reports that the states that put their applications in first will get paid first, and that states that put their applications in later get paid later. Unfortunately, there's some viewers of this channel that didn't get that. And so now they say, you know, my state was approved yesterday. Why have I not seen the money? Because your state waited 3 weeks to get their application in. Complain to the state, not me. That's what's going on. Is some states just took a long time, for reasons really unclear, to get applications in. And that the fact that they're approved doesn't mean you're getting funds right away. FEMA specifically said, we're paying all the other states first until we get to your state. That's FEMA paying the states. Then the states have to pay you the money. How and when are they paying you the money? In many cases, what's really good is that states understand this has caused a lot of confusion. So states are actually issuing press releases when they start to send out their first round of LWA payments to you. It's very good because, you know, When FPUC 1.0 launched, when PUA launched, states didn't tell viewers anything. They didn't tell you when you're getting your debit card or when you're getting your first payment or how backed up they are. They had security breaches. They weren't even telling us there were security breaches. When I was reporting at PUA and UI and helping viewers this channel get $10,000, $20,000 of unemployment benefits, we had states that absolutely were not telling us anything. They weren't telling us routing times. They weren't telling us processing times. They weren't telling us anything about anything. But slowly over time, it appears that the backlash against the states and their silence has really helped, because that backlash has now turned states into being overly disclosing as to routing times. So states are now issuing press releases to say, we are issuing LWA payments starting today. So what you need to do is Google your state and the word LWA and see if there's a press release that says when they started issuing payments. Now, this is so important because I just get this question all the time. My state has been issuing payments since yesterday. I haven't got any money. When I get my money? Hold up. Every press release from a state says when they start to issue payments, but it also says when they will finish issuing payments. And this is important to understand. If they start issuing payments yesterday, Friday, they're not going to be done issuing payments in 2 days. They got millions and millions and millions of transactions to send out. Those take forever. And forever, when I mean forever, I don't mean 2 years, but I mean it's more than 24 hours. It takes a lot of time to process these transactions. So, in the case of some states, like California, did a wonderful job this week, actually said, we're starting issuing payments this coming week, and we think they'll be done issuing payments by this date, and we expect so many people to get payments by the first few days, and then more people get payments the next few days. This is incredible, great clarity, transparency, but other states aren't doing it. If you're in your portal for your website for FPUC or UI and you're looking at your LWA payments, you're looking at your FPUC 1.0 payments in UI or PUA, and it says processing, that's good news. It means it's getting routed to you. If it says paid and you haven't received the payment, give it a few days. But if a week has passed and it says paid and you haven't received the payment, that's a whole other ball wax. Better call them. Next, how much money for LWA? Now, hold up for a second. There was one troll that got into the comments yesterday and was clearly blocked in a second that said that my reporting of what FEMA has been representing to you was my predictions about when you will receive LWA and my predictions about how many weeks you would get for LWA. Hold up, wait a second, not happening. That is so untrue. FEMA has been giving representations of how quickly you would receive funds and how much funds you would receive and how many weeks. And those representations have been improved for the good part week after week after week. And viewers of this channel have been incredible in saying, hey, LA, my state paid me 5 weeks and I'm in Texas. Hey, LA, my state of Arizona, and I got 4 weeks and I might be getting 5 weeks. They've given me incredible clarity. So ultimately, FEMA has been FEMA was conservative on the front end and is now updating its numbers. So it's like, come off already with that. First of all, FEMA initially said that some states would only have 2 weeks of benefits. Many states now have 5 weeks of benefits. FEMA said there may not be any funds come the first week of September. Well, this is the first week of September. There's still funds. Third, FEMA said some states may at most get 3 weeks of benefits. Several states have 5 weeks of benefits. So it literally has been updated by FEMA on a regular basis. That's not to say that FEMA messed up, that this channel gave you incorrect information, which is just crazy. I mean, it's just like, hello, I'm just reporting what FEMA said on a particular day. If FEMA updates the numbers, then the numbers are updated. That is incredible great news. And incredible great news is more weeks of numbers. This is not FEMA going the other way. FEMA didn't overpromise, didn't say you're going to get 6 weeks of benefits and now is giving you 3 weeks. FEMA underpromised and said I have at least 3 weeks for these respective states, and now is over-delivering. It underpromised and is now over-delivering at 5 weeks, and that's incredible great news, and it's great news for you. Next, how long do you need to wait for your FEMA money? You just have to look on a state-by-state basis. It's just all over the place. Every state is totally different. This was very apparent when I was recording, PUA and UI videos since April 25th. I was reporting, every single state is different. And I have viewers that are backed up, weeks, days. Ultimately, patience helps. Kevin Lee, my original OG viewer of this channel, I detail a lot on the rent video because of his rent grant, reported this week in some of the comments that he's receiving upwards of $19,000 in back due UI or unemployment benefits and FPUC 1.0 that had not been paid to him, but he's finally getting it. That's perseverance. This is a viewer who applied, I believe, on April 25th. Late April, early May, and is now in September getting every single penny, having gotten zero. That's what's called perseverance. And perseverance is what makes the strength of this channel. The viewers who understand what they're entitled to get, understand the process to get them, and use that power, use that information as power, purple power, to get their money. Next, FPUC 2.0. When would you get FPUC 2.0? How soon would you receive the funds, and when would you see the money available for you to use? Okay, so let's go over that. FPUC 2.0 is in next week's bill. These are the representations by Mark Meadows, Steve Mnuchin, Larry Kudlow, Donald Trump, Mike Pence, but mostly Mark Meadows. That next week a bill will be introduced. Next week it will be introduced. Remember my verb, introduced. Doesn't mean it becomes law. It's introduced next week. The week after, according to Meadows, it will become law. It will be signed by both houses of Congress. That's his representation. Under that scenario, when would you receive money? Under Mark Meadows' scenario, when would you receive money? Well, I'm generally going to say that states are much faster in getting you money this time around than they were in the first FPUC. Goodness, I mean, they were backed up for months that time. This time I'm going to say it's about 2 weeks for you to literally have access to the funds in your bank account, in your physical hands, after it becomes law. So what you need to do is watch, not particularly whether it becomes law next week, because it's not going to become law next week. It's going to be introduced next week. The week after is when Meadows represents it will become law. If that is true, then you would see the benefits in your bank account about 2 weeks thereafter. Now understand, we're dealing with, a lot of states that have a lot of old computer systems that do things all differently, and some states are incredibly slow. So I would not be surprised if Hawaii had another, security breach, or Illinois had a security breach, or they had a meltdown of the computer systems and everything's backed up for 2 more weeks. I mean, these things just happen. So it is impossible for anyone to predict how fast the state can send out your funds, but generally it looks like they can do it in about 1 to 2 weeks after it becomes law. How much money? Well, it would be retroactive from that point back to FPUC's 1.0's expiration. So if let's say we're 2 weeks from now, we're almost late September. So how many weeks would have expired since FPUC 1? All of August, all of September. Well, that's about 8 weeks. That's pretty easy, 8 weeks. So you could get 8 weeks of retroactive benefits as your first payment from your state under FPUC 2.0. It would be deducted against any money you receive from LWA, but not deducted from that $100 add-on that you would get in the state of Kentucky, West Virginia, Kansas, Vermont, and Montana. Next, some viewers have been asking me questions about the tax part of this, which is a little, I haven't done that video in a while, so let me answer that question. When you go to ask for your benefits and certify for your benefits each week, it asks you, do you want to take out for taxes or not want to take out for taxes? One viewer had a really great question yesterday. He said, does the $100 minimum account for after you take out from taxes? Really not clear. We don't know. But if you want to make certain about it, or you want to make more cautious about it, don't take out for taxes. What does it mean to take out for taxes? Well, unemployment benefits are taxable. They're taxable. You can either have them deduct the weekly benefits for taxes now before they send you the payment, or you can say, no, don't remove for taxes now, I'll pay for taxes next year when the taxes are due. Ultimately, what I've always advised viewers is just choose one and stick with it, because there's nothing more impossible to recreate next year is knowing, did I take out or did I not take out? Wait, 1 week I took out, and then the next week I didn't take out, and then the week after I did take out. Just don't do that. You'll never be able to keep track. But that is the good news. Unemployment benefits does not conflict with anything. It does not conflict with, it does not generally conflict with anything that I'm talking about generally on this channel. Stimulus does not conflict with stimulus check. It does not conflict with hazard pay. It does conflict with PPP. So if there's another round of PPP and you're asking for PPP, but you're also getting unemployment benefits, oh, I'll see you. You can drive yourself to jail. It's the old expression I used to use on this channel. If you're an Uber or Lyft driver and you're getting PPP money, but you're also getting unemployment benefits, you can drive yourself to jail. Just can't do that. No. Finally, let's see what else needs to be explained for unemployment benefits. Oh, a lot of states sometimes pay the UI and PUA benefits right after you certify, but the federal add-on comes later, like a day or two later, and separately. It has always been the case, and I don't know why. So expect that as a possibility this September, that if and when FPUC 2.0 becomes law, and you're looking at a particular week, and you're like, okay, that week I'm supposed to get FPUC 2.0, but I already got my UI. Why did I get my UI, but I didn't get my FPUC 2.0? Because a lot of states send it separately. They don't send them together. And they, in fact, even sometimes send them in different means. So you may be set up for electronic deposit for weekly benefits, and they send it to you weekly benefits electronically, but then suddenly you get in the mail a paper check for the $600 or $400 a week. Very, very confusing. The amount of FPUC this channel has been reporting looks like it will land at about $400. The reason why I'm telling you is the following. The Democrats proposed $600. That's not happening. The Republicans previously proposed $200. That's not happening. Then they proposed $300. That's not happening. Likely not happening. The reason why is the executive order from President Donald Trump on the LWA order, really, when you look at it, is a $400 number. It's $300 plus $100, so it's a $400 number. Second, the president and Steve Mnuchin made an offer to Nancy Pelosi in the final week of negotiations of the second stimulus package at $400 a week. Did I say an hour? If I said an hour, it's hot out here, so give the dying soul some slack. If I said $400 an hour, I meant $400 a week. $4 a minute. That's like Chuck Schumer money. Not $400 a minute either. It's likely to land at $400 a week. The reason why is because they have to appease to certain Republicans who don't want to give you any money. And those Republicans rather be zero. So the number cannot be too rich, for choice of a very bad word, because those Republicans won't vote for it and the bill won't be signed. With that in mind, expect a lot of action. Expect to see the bill next week. It won't be what the bill has been called before. It won't be the heroes. It won't be the heels. It won't be the skinny. It won't be the fat. It won't be the slender. It won't be the rotund. And it won't be purple, although it should be. Do me a couple favors. Subscribe to this channel. Subscribe and alert, so you get an alert when a new video goes live. You go to the sticky of this comment, the pinned comment that I put in this video, the pinned comment, and in there it shows how to ensure you are subscribed if you're wondering whether you aren't. Basically, if you are looking at your name in the comments and there's no red button next to your name, you are not publicly subscribed. So you may have to unsubscribe and resubscribe, and that will make you publicly subscribed. I respond to publicly subscribed comments before other people. Next, like this video. Liking this video helps this video appear higher in the algorithm. It really helps, especially for people who are looking for questions about PUA and LWA and FPUC and UI. So they find a video that is correct with information, not incorrect with information, that's up to date today, not an old video that has been, pushed around in the search results, that they find this video based upon the developments of today. Coming up next is Rent. As always, stay informed, stay smiling, stay focused, and stay about life for more.